Good evening, everyone. Just have my final video of the day coming up. It's a couple days ago, someone in the comments requested if I could do a video on their team, so Philadelphia Flyers breakdown, and that's just what I'm going to do. But before I get started, just want to thank you guys. I know it's not like a massive milestone or anything, but just hit 20 subscribers and then plus 21 today. And just want to thank you guys. Even though it's 20 people, it's 20 more people. That's just having a great time with it and everything, and I'm glad to make videos for you. So, the Flyers had a good season last year, in 69 games played. Because of the stoppage of the season, they went 41-21-7, and they came 4th in the Eastern Conference and 2nd in the Metro. So, very tough Metro division, and not overly tough East. If you have above 500 record, you're likely making the playoffs as long as you hit the 40-win plateau. And their goal differential, which a lot of people don't really look into, but it usually correlates with success for teams. They had plus 36 goal differential, which, if you guys don't know what that means, it's 36 more goals against the other team than they gave up. So it shows that their defense, even on paper you look at it and you're expecting that out of them, it's very strong and able to not give up goals. And we'll get to in a second a big contributor of why they don't give up too many goals. So we'll look now at their leaders in a few categories. So their points leaders was one of my favorite players, Travis Konecny, and he could be on my hockey team any day. I've said that before to people. He's one of my favorite players. He's electric. He's a smaller guy, but he doesn't play like it. So he's going to be, I wouldn't be surprised if he sticks around the Flyers as long as Claude Giroux has so far. And so again, Konecny, 61 points in those 69 games. So just under a point per game. If the season did go to 82 games, he'd probably be close to a point per game. And the assist leader for the Flyers was Jakub Voracek. Great puck distributor, everywhere he's been, with Columbus and Philadelphia and over on national teams, he's been a great guy to set up guys for scoring. So he led his team in assists with 44 that year, which was pretty good. If you do the full 82, he probably could have hit about 60. And again, for goals, Travis Konecny, 24 goals. Big jump from a couple seasons ago where they weren't sure what his role was going to be on this team. And clearly I'd say he's probably going to be captain or assistant captain of this team in the future for a long time. And so now we'll look at wins for goaltenders. Obviously, Carter Hart. And like I was saying, he's a huge piece to the puzzle of why their goal differential was so good. Plus 36, he was saving goals left, right, and center on high-quality scoring chances. And a lot of people look at him as the future franchise goaltender for there, and I don't even think future. He's the goalie of the now. And we'll get to him again in a second. So my rookie performer that just from watching hockey, I thought was great for the Flyers was Joel Farabee. He's a good hockey player. I mean, he didn't have like a stat line that's going to blow you away or anything, but he just knows what he's doing out there. And every time you turn the highlight packs on for the Flyers having big wins, he was always a huge contributor in that. And he's my pick to have a great breakout season next year for the Flyers, especially if he's in a top 6 role. So now back out to Carter Hart. We'll talk about him a little bit more. First we'll go about what his record and his stats were. So he went 24 wins, 13 losses, and 3 overtime losses, which out of the 41 wins total for the Flyers, that shows that most of the time when he went out, he won, which is great when you could just think if you make a defensive mistake, you have him behind you. So that's why he outdueled Carey Price in the playoffs. After the Montreal Canadiens upset the Penguins in the play-in round, they went and everyone was heavily favoring Carey Price, but they didn't I don't think they put enough respect on Carter Hart's name, and he's probably, in my mind, going to be the next Carey Price. Or better, who knows? A lot of people are seeing things in his game that he's a lot better. He's a lot better controlling his emotions and everything. So they got a great one. And the carousel of goalies that the Flyers have had over the last, you could go back 15 years, even look at maybe the last consistent goalie they had was Ron Hextall. That stayed for a significant amount of time. So Hart, 15 years probably, he's going to be there, and he's going to have a great career, and I would love to be able to have that young stud in net. So, again, back on him, he had a 2.42 goals against average, which is great, and .914 save percentage, and only one shutout. So, he was, there were a couple games where he was really close, and then they would, in the last second, give up a goal or something like that, just to ruin the stat line pretty much, but he had a couple games where he definitely deserved a shutout. And so we'll just go on to a few things about them. They have Brian Elliott signed as a good backup, and when you look at their record, the 41, Hart getting the 24, Elliott picked up the slack, and Alex Lyon, he picked up the third string duties. So Oscar Lindblom is back. He was fighting cancer and missed a majority of the season and had to undergo treatment, and it was looking really good at the end of the year, and he's supposed to be back for next year, which is great. There's been a bunch of players that are getting it, many types of cancer, and they're finding ways back in the league. Like, one that comes to mind is Brian Boyle. He came back, and hopefully the same thing happens for Lindblom. And now I just want to talk about Nolan Patrick for a second. So he was second overall in a weaker draft year in 2017, and he was second to Nico Hischier, and a lot of people thought he was going first, but he had a lot of injury concerns, but not enough to slip any further than second. What I think about him is that he's just a project, and I would think that it would be a mistake on the Flyers' end if they were to give up on him too early, because you always expect the number 2 pick, number 1 pick, number 3. It seems like those top 3 have those expectations that if you're not a star by year 3 or 4, you're thrown aside. And you always see, like, some people have, like, second half of their career rejuvenations, or they're just a late bloomer. So, and I know a lot of people say you can't be a late bloomer at second overall. I mean, you have a point there, but he has potential. He has the body of a hockey player. He has the mind of a hockey player. He's a great player, and I think if he just gets his injuries under control, that he's going to be a part of the Flyers for a long time. And he has the potential to, but it's all in his hands. So, my prediction next year for the Flyers is that, first, I think that Carter Hart will definitely be in the Vezina conversation. I think he'll crack top 5 for goaltenders, if not top 3. And I'd say there's even a small chance that he could win it, because the goalies a lot of the ones that were superstars are starting to decline, and he has a really good chance to surpass them. And I think that the Flyers are going to win the Metro Division next year. I just think there's so much talent on that team, and they've built so well from the blue line out, and gotten Carter Hart, and they're filling in their forward holes. And if Claude Giroux can put a great season together and Voracek can have another good one, they're going to be dangerous in the playoffs next year, especially if they get good goaltending. So that is my breakdown of Philadelphia Flyers past and for what I think for next season. If any of you guys have any teams that you want me to talk about or any other video ideas, just let me know. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for liking, commenting, and hit the subscribe button. Have a good night, everyone.